Hey guys, it is me, your wonderful, amazing host, Filthy Rake, as always, and I'm joined by a special guest co-caster tonight. It is Hurtin' Time. How's it going, buddy?
It's going great, thanks.
We
Looking forward to
actually,
this game.
me too. We actually just finished casting you, right?
You did? Oh, I
Yeah,
don't know. I just logged on, so.
yeah. We just finished casting one of your games.
Oh, excellent. I hope I did well.
You certainly did. We cast your game against Draven, as I recall.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
It's an excellent game. And here tonight, we're going to be doing Freedom up against SirMalagant. What do you think about this matchup?
Oh, definitely two of our top players. So I think Sir Maligan only has two losses, maybe three tops. If and I know he lost to migraine, and he might have lost one more.
Yeah,
But
he's 5-3 at the moment.
5-3. Okay, yeah. And Freedom should be like 7-1. So I, I think this will be a good match. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I've heard that SirMalagant has really been practicing for this, so Freedom.
Oh,
I think Freedom needs to watch out.
yeah, maybe he's got some cheese lined up for Freedom.
Uh,
I've watched a lot of Freedom games, and I always think that I might know a way to break them, but it never works out. But maybe Sir Maligan has figured out this puzzle.
well, let's find out here. As we load into the game on Overgrowth, of course, the most popular map in our tournament here so far.
Yeah, this is the map when I remember when I was gonna play Sir Maligan last season. I was like telling Freedom, I'm so worried about, the blink build that he does. And he's like, oh, you don't have to worry about blink on this map. And then he blinked on the map.
You're not supposed to do blink on this map.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real small area in the front that the stalkers can blink up on, and I wasn't watching it, and sure enough, that's he blinked in and devastated me. But let's see what happens this game.
Yep. And of course, up here in the top right corner, as the Orange Zerg, it is our league founder and previous season, season one, I would say, champion, Freedom.
And he was runner up in season 2
Yep.
to Samurai Panda, another Protoss player. So
Yep. And Freedom's opponent, of course, for this match, in the green, the bottom left position as Protoss, it is SirMalagant.
yeah, and if I recall, Sir Maligan's really been improving. He's getting pretty high in the diamond. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it to Masters this new season. Let's see what happens.
Of course, for all the folks watching at home going, what is he talking about? I just saw a platinum portrait. It's that new season, man. It's rough. I finished almost Masters last season and placed right back into platinum as well, so it's always painful having to fight your way back up.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really good players that are, trying to get up to Grandmaster or whatever. So you get a lot of players on their first day out, starting to run up the ladder that you encounter, which is never fun when you're trying to climb the ladder yourself.
Yep. Now, it does look like we're going to be seeing a gateway expand out of SirMalagant, style that I favor. Freedom going for a hatch first. This is actually very uncommon for him. He pretty much always goes pool first, just because it is a safer build, and he's always worried about cheese.
Yeah, that's true. I recall him saying that he likes to do 14 pool and then expand, and this was a 15 pool, I noticed. And still no gas. So
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, I'm not really sure what to expect. As I said, this is definitely a non-standard opening from Freedom. I know he's been worried about this match, so maybe he's got something special in store.
mhm. Well, he may go, really hard on the macro. He's a very good macro player. I've watched him, play many matches. I remember one match he was playing against a Mech Masters player, and the Terran was a 200 supply, and Freedom was just sitting in pretty at 150, 160, just kind of holding him off, and he was just kept macroing up and getting more bases and building up his production, and then he would just that 40 supply or so, he would keep switching between air and ground, just driving the Terran player mad. But he had he had a really strong economy to allow him to do that. So maybe he's doing something similar, and there goes a third hatch.
Yeah, I mean, that was a 4-minute third. That was incredibly fast. Freedom actually gets right in with this Ling. This is actually pretty sloppy here from Panda.
Well, Malagant.
Or Valiant. Man, I always do that. I always do that with these guys.
Yeah, and Malagant has two probes per assimilator here.
Yep, I mean, that's pretty standard early game for Protoss, though at this point I would be expecting. I mean, he's got adequate saturation at this base that I'm surprised that he hasn't gone to 3 in each.
Yeah, and still no gas. Oh wait. Okay, he's getting gas at his natural. Interesting.
This is actually pretty interesting, though. We're seeing no tech yet from SirMalagant. He's adding on 2 additional gateways, and his warp gate's almost done. But this is pretty surprising. I think we're just going to see some gateway pressure here on this third, since Freedom doesn't have a whole lot that he can actually do. He's only got some lings out, and with a mothership core and a stalker, 2 stalkers in fact, he should actually be able to get a nice little poke here and just really force some units.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to be careful, though. He doesn't want to lose these stalkers. And I expect we'll see him recall out. There we go. Manages not to lose anything himself, and does a little bit of damage. Those were lings that, Freedom did not really want to build, so that's an excellent pickup there for him, even though he didn't really get anything more done. And with the 3 gates now that are warp gates completed, a forge done, he'll be able to put on a little bit more pressure, though. Spines, actually a lot of spines here from Freedom, and some roaches starting to come out. So SirMalagant's going to need to pick a tech really soon if he doesn't want to just die to some roach counterattacks.
Yeah, I think it's pretty smart of Freedom to drop down the static defenses and start, building some roaches, because as soon as SirMalagant sees the third, he knows that he needs to do something right away, or he's gonna fall behind.
Yeah, I'm still really not sure what SirMalagant's going for here, and his +1 attack is underway. It's a fine choice. He's got this forward pylon, but there's still only 3 gateways. I mean, there's just not actually that much he can do with this.
It's just really smart, though. He's going at the natural. And Freedom moved his spine crawler to his third, so he's a little bit overexposed right now.
Yeah, though he needs to watch out. He can't lose his mothership core. If he loses the mothership core, his units are trapped. He can't recall out.
Yep.
And there it goes. So all of these stalkers are going to die. Wow, he's taking his gold base behind this.
Oh wow, and no army really to defend it.
That is a very interesting choice, but I feel like he's just going to lose it. He needs to be careful.
Oh, don't!
Actually, I was going to say, don't walk that stalker over there, but it's too
late.
late.
Freedom's going to check it.
And these cannons are just going to die, and this space is just going to get cancelled.
Yeah.
There's the cancellation. And I mean, with only 3 gateways, I mean, +1's now done, but so what? I don't think he's going to be able to hold this base. If Freedom chooses the counterattack. That's the real key.
Yeah, at this point, Freedom has almost twice the supply, and 13 more workers as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Robo is just now coming down. Freedom not pressing his advantage. I think this is a little bit of a mistake. Freedom could pretty easily win this game right here and now. But Freedom is playing a bit cautiously. There is still this pylon up here, so if SirMalagant wanted, he could still try to do a little bit of harassment, but... Nice Overlord pickoff, supply blocking Freedom for a little bit. Freedom actually, there we go, I was gonna say, I don't think he immediately noticed. He queues up several Overlords, while SirMalagant tries to retake a third base and finally begins his Immortal production.
Yeah, Freedom is, he's floating some minerals here.
He is, I mean, that's not surprising since he's been supply blocked. SirMalagant, though, man, 20 workers in his main and still only mining minerals, and still only 2 on each gas.
On each gas, yeah.
And even in his expansion, he only has a single gas geyser fully saturated. It's kind of interesting. Finally building some more gateways. He does actually have a couple that have not yet been converted to warp gates. I'm kind of worried for SirMalagant here. Freedom's really being given the opportunity to do whatever he wants. So he's getting this infestation pit. I would not be surprised to see swarm hosts coming out here and taking his own gold.
Yeah, well, there's not really much that SirMalagant can do at this point because he's, been behind pretty much the whole game. So you kind of have to play a little bit of turtle, expand, and get a big enough army to.
See, I'm not sure that I agree. I feel like when you're this far behind, the only way he's going to win is by taking a big risk. Right? He's not going to catch up in the macro game. And he has to watch out. He's going to walk this army to its doom. He should just recall out.
I have my ultimate.
He's going to press it. I mean, with a couple of Immortals, he actually should be able to clean up these roaches if Freedom doesn't micro well. And it looks like Freedom's just going to bail out. This Ling wraparound, though, could be very dangerous.
Yeah, it's really missing some zealots in the mix there.
Yeah, he needs to recall out. He cannot afford to lose those Immortals. But
does he not have the energy for it?
I'm pretty sure he does. Why isn't he recalling? Recall! Oh, man. 3 Immortals for basically nothing. Big Zealot, well, not even really a Big Zealot Warp In, a Zealot Warp In, but these aren't really going to get much done. He should just pack up, go home, chrono boost out whatever he can as fast as he can.
Yeah, he can't get away now. Yeah.
I mean, all these Lings out here and swarm hosts on the map, it's all over but the Cryan, really.
Yeah, agreed. He's not going to be able to stop this attack, so he's going to lose his third.
Yeah, he's got some well-placed cannons, but those cannons can only do so much. I mean, Zealots are going to come in and try to be heroes, but... Blink almost finished, but no Stalkers to take advantage of it.
Looks like he's
goes down. He's going to hold this base.
Yeah.
So actually a really nice hold there from SirMalagant.
And he's only lost 3 workers.
Yeah, no, that was really nicely done.
In fact, he has more workers now than Freedom. Interesting. He's got an 11.
Freedom, no.
So but Freedom has gold.
Freedom is doing what he always does. This is Freedom's biggest problem. He stops droning at about 50 workers most of the time. Now, he's got a big batch about to pop, but he just converts them all into buildings and stays at like 50 workers, and it's not enough to keep his economy going at the level that he needs.
He also has two drones on each gas at his main. But he is upgrading to lair, so looks like he may be going for Ultralists or Broodlords. We'll have to see.
Yep, SirMalagant is trying to take advantage of the slow, immobile nature of Storm Hosts and trying to move around, but unfortunately, these Immortals You know, the Stalkers are great. They can blink around and not directly engage, but the Immortals cannot. And the Lings are just going to come out here and wrap around everything. Nice recall.
Okay, he just recall. Yeah, and I see Colossus out. I guess that's a good unit for to deal with the swarm hosts.
Yeah, but Freedom, being the clever man he is starting to build Mutalisks. At least a couple of them. Mutas will be tough. Fourth base being taken by SirMalagant. Really like that. But man, yeah, here we go. 14 Mutas under production.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Zerg. They can really just make so many units at once. You know, as long as you have the larva.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
in the economy.
You know, SirMalagant has not been keeping up with the numbers of stalkers that he's going to need. You know, he's preparing for the swarm hosts, but he's not preparing for the mutas because he doesn't know that they're there. He's going to be a very sad man when this giant flock of mutas flies into his main, which is what's about to happen.
Wow, and SirMalagant is up to 87 probes now. That's starting to borderline on the excessive.
No, that's not starting to border on. That straight up is.
Yeah. Well, now he knows about the mutas now. So.
Yeah, but he doesn't have enough stalkers here to actually defend. The mutas can just straight up take these engagements. And now he's going to lose his attack upgrade. And if he could lose his Colossus tech too. He's targeting down the Cyber Core to stop any more stalkers from being built. I actually love this. I would totally sack those mutas in exchange for that Cybernetics Core. That's a great trade. Now SirMalagant can't even build anything that can shoot up.
What about Archons?
He doesn't have any Templar tech.
Just a Twilight Council.
So this is, I mean, SirMalagant is ahead in supply, but I don't know that it's a useful supply, right? Zealots aren't great against Mutalisks. Oh, and here come the Lings. And I love how he's using the mutas to target down the Colossus. So now with those Colossus dead, he can just remax on pretty much whatever he wants. SirMalagant, though, is actually doing a great job really maintaining a supply lead, moving around with his army. But 91 workers! What are you doing with 91 workers? As Protoss, you never need that many probes. More than half of his supply is in workers.
Yeah, he's oversaturated even at his fourth base. The new one, he's already got 28 workers on it.
Yep, Freedom, man, continuing to be annoying with these mutas. He's now target firing the Colossus tech. Big counterattack coming out of SirMalagant, however. These Blinkstalkers are just moving around and going to pick off whatever they can. And they actually, I mean, with +1 attack and Blink, they can get a lot done.
Yeah, he can get, yeah.
I mean, he might be able to just snipe this base. He needs to watch out though. He's walking them into the spines. I'm not totally sure about that decision. There we go. Targeting the Spire. I like the Spire. No more mutas, at least, now from Freedom for a little while. Good Blink micro, even, trying to maximize the damage output from these Stalkers. The Lings should get these cleaned up, though. Maybe?
No,
I don't know. Stalkers are gonna live.
Not enough. Yeah.
Man, SirMalagant really getting a lot of value out of those Stalkers.
What are the upgrades at on the Lings?
Here we go. Mutas coming in here should finally clean this up. Pretty nice big Muta ball there. And DT tech now coming down from SirMalagant. sorry, Freedom has 32 workers on a single base on minerals. Don't think
Yeah, I
that's
see
quite
that.
what he wanted.
And no gas. But he's floating 3K minerals and 3K gas, so I guess we
Yep,
can forgive
he
him.
almost managed to get the cancel off on that base. I mean, Freedom's literally building nothing right now. Which is an interesting decision. I generally find building something to be better than building nothing, but
This is what I was commenting about earlier when I had noticed him playing that mech player. He would just sit at around 160 and just, keep working on his macro and harassing, and then just building whatever units he feels, best counter what the opponent is throwing at him. But I noticed this before. He doesn't go straight to 200 and then try to run you over. It's more like he's gonna be hitting you in multiple places and just
yep. I mean, he's doing a great job with his mutas, cleaning
killing.
out the,
Yeah.
the main of SirMalagant. SirMalagant's counterattacking here with some Colossus and Stalkers, and it's pretty much unopposed. Freedom's gonna have to respond to this. He's gonna actually lose his spawning pool here in a second. All of the mutas do need to come back now to try to deal with this. The mutas should be able to clean it up, though he's making the mistake of not engaging with his full mutaball. So he
That
did
is
lose
a
some
lot of
unnecessary.
mutas. At some point, Sir Maligan, it's gonna have to make something other than stalkers to deal with all these
Well, I
all
mean, he
these
did just
mutas.
finish +3 attack for his Stalkers, which is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, this is a very large number of mutas. I mean, there's 34 mutas on the map right now. And he did depower a large number of SirMalagant's gateways in his main. And he's sieging the gold base. He's actually going to probably kill this here in a minute with his swarm hosts.
Yeah, and
Freedom's
34 mutas and 16
expanding.
swarm hosts against 5 sentries and 14
So you notice
stalk.
that Freedom's now taking some of SirMalagant's bases?
Yeah. I,
Not even taking his own side of the map here. He's like, okay, you know what? I've won this game. And he's gonna snipe the cybernetics core again to prevent even any more stalkers from being built. I do like, though, he does have some high Templar with Storm, and one or two good Storms could actually completely destroy that mutaball. And even some Archons here for good measure. It's not a terrible choice. But yeah, like I say, Freedom wisely not choosing to engage that. I mean, he
yeah,
doesn't
well,
really need to.
yeah, and both players are pretty rich, so even though Sir Maligan just lost a lot of his production capacity, he still has a lot of bank.
Yeah, the real question is just, can he spend it? Thankfully, he does actually still have a pretty large number of gateways spread amongst his other bases, so the game is definitely not over yet. Freedom getting those corruptors out to help deal a little bit better with those Colossus. Maybe even we'll see that Broodlord transition. I like this. He's using the swarm hosts to distract the army, and then he's flying in with his mutas here. And he's actually going to snipe one of the few remaining mining bases of SirMalagant's.
Well, maybe he can do Sir Maligan a favor and kill some probes.
Well, I don't know if you saw, there were over 40 probes mining in that base.
Yeah.
Man, depowering those gateways, he's just really working hard to take away SirMalagant's ability to actually build things. Freedom re-expanding to SirMalagant's side of the map. Apparently doesn't see the need to take his own final expansion. But I suppose when you have this many Mutalisks, you can just do whatever you want.
That's so freaking close. That was a godly snare, you gotta say. Gotta say.
Freedom trying to take out the third now of SirMalagant. He's in really a pretty good position. SirMalagant has supply, he has money, but he just, Freedom can afford to lose an army and rebuild it.
And rebuild it, yeah.
SirMalagant just can't really rebuild the way that Freedom can. He needs to watch out, though. If these Archons can get some good splash on these Mutas.
Yeah, only one of the Archons was actually working there. The other two were taking a break.
The Mutas took a fair bit of damage, but they can just fly away, regen. Needs to be careful, though. He's just going to engage this? Alright. I mean, he can afford it. It's fine.
Yeah, the upgrade difference is really showing now. Those mutas are, 0-1.
Yep, and here come those Broodlords. And what is SirMalagant actually going to do about Broodlords at this point?
Yeah, doesn't have anything to deal with them.
Blinkstalkers are good, but
he is countering, so let's see if Freedom brings his Broodlords back to defend.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big, scary Protoss army. But, there are some swarm hosts here. And if the Broodlords come back... this army's getting a lot of work done. Freedom mostly seems to be ignoring it.
You almost forgot.
Did SirMalagant lose his observer? Oh no, he's got it.
It wasn't with the army at first. Freedom really seems content to base trade here.
Base trade, yeah.
Moving in finally with some of his corruptors. Oh, maybe. He was thinking about it. There we go. Snipes the mothership core at least. And he could probably sweep in from behind with the forces that he has here and at least pick off the Colossus without too much difficulty. It does look like he's coming home with his Broodlords as well, though, so he's just going to try to stop this army in its tracks. Probably crush it and then counterattack hard. SirMalagant, though, just, Freedom has a reasonable bank. SirMalagant is pretty broke.
Yeah.
Here comes the engagement. Colossus falling pretty quickly. Broodlord's starting to chip away. Even casting a corruption there from his corruptors onto those stalkers. I mean, SirMalagant now about to fall. He's at 100 supply now, could fall under it.
Well, he's got another attack on the top right going.
He's really working hard with those Blinkstalkers. I mean, he's getting so much value out of them. Freedom actually has lost a fair number of workers here. He's down to 27 workers.
Yeah, he's really only got one mining base right now. That's, saturated well. The other one only has 6 workers on it. So.
Yep, and a double Stargate now coming down for SirMalagant.
And a fairly serious gas issue for Freedom. He is not mining gas at all. So he needs to make things happen with his current army.
Gas is mined out in basically all of his existing bases. He does have gas available at his base on SirMalagant's side of the map, but he isn't actually mining it. And he's actually going to lose most of the rest of his workers here to some Blinkstalkers. So he is going to need to try to win basically with the army he's got. Now, he did depower the Stargates, so SirMalagant will have a very hard time actually answering this army. He pretty much has to fight with the army he's got.
Yep.
A lot of Zealots, though, warped in around the map, picking off bases. Freedom really needs to squash this. And the supplies are incredibly close right now. This is, I don't think anyone would have expected this.
No, not at all. But I don't think SirMalagant can stop Freedom's army. Freedom's just gonna...
Freedom's trying to clean up these Zealots with Lings, but these are highly upgraded zealots against not upgraded lings. The zealots are just shredding these lings. Doing so much damage.
Freedom can't make anything else. He's had 35 gas now for several minutes, and
oh no, there's DTs. Does Freedom have any overseers?
Well, he's got spores at his expansion at least.
He does have a couple of overseers. As long as he's careful not to lose those, he should be okay. Freedom expanding just everywhere he can.
Right next to the Nexus that SirMalagant's building.
Well, Andy's taking SirMalagant's gold. Because why not?
Yeah, well, he's got the minerals.
Here's the real trick here now. SirMalagant's army is moving up. There's the GG. Freedom will take this game. That
was an interesting game.
That was crazy. I don't know what I just saw there. That was bizarre from start to finish.
Ouch. I don't know if you heard that, but I just banged my elbow right on the funny bone. Ouch.
So yeah, great game for both players, and Freedom continues on undefeated to everyone except Migraine, I believe.
Yeah, he's 8-1.
So great season for him. And SirMalagant, of course, still doing quite well, 5-4 now. Definitely showing that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's one of the he's in the upper echelon of the league players this season.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're gonna drop off the stream for a little bit while we set up for our fourth and final game of the evening. Stay tuned.
Alrighty, thanks for having me.